looking right past the paparazzi cameras, the luxury yachts, and all that tabloid gossip surrounding Cristiano Ronaldo and Georgina Rodríguez. Instead, we're gonna look at their relationship for what it really is, an absolute masterclass in extreme wealth protection. It is a completely fascinating look at how modern billionaires actually shield their empires behind closed doors. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. Fairy tale or corporate merger. 2. Inside the ironclad prenup. 3. The motherhood clause explained. 4. Protecting the athlete's wealth. 5. Georgina's multi-million-dollar empire. And 6. The business of marriage. Section 1. Fairy tale or corporate merger. On the surface, Ronaldo and Rodríguez look like the absolute ultimate modern romance, right? Ronaldo actually just confirmed some pretty grand plans for a 2026 World Cup wedding. He proposed with this custom 30 to 40 carat oval center diamond that's worth up to $15 million. It looks exactly like a true fairy tale ending. But let's move to the timeline and see how this actually builds. In 2016, they met at a Gucci store in Madrid. By 2017, their first daughter was born. And here's the catch: the first draft of their private legal contract was also signed. In 2022, they had another child, and boom, the contract expanded. In 2023, they moved to Saudi Arabia, all while targeting that 2026 wedding. Notice how every single romantic milestone perfectly aligns with a highly calculated legal move? Now, having this kind of unparalleled global status brings some pretty unique privileges. Take their 2023 relocation to Riyadh for Ronaldo's Al Nassr contract. Saudi authorities actually took a super pragmatic approach and turned a blind eye to local laws that strictly forbid unmarried couples from living together. It just goes to show how immensely powerful the Ronaldo brand is. They literally exist as an exception to geopolitical rules. So it really forces us to ask, is this just the world's most romantic story leading up to a massive World Cup wedding? Or, beneath all the diamonds and the flashy Instagram posts, are we actually watching the brilliant, cold legal machinery of a corporate merger at work? Let's take a look at the documents. Section 2. Inside the ironclad prenup. Just recently, the Portuguese investigative outlet TV Guia leaked the details of this heavily guarded separation agreement. Make no mistake, this is a privately structured contract engineered entirely outside the framework of standard family courts. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer scale of the guaranteed assets protecting Georgina's future. If these split, she outright gets the $5.6 million La Finca mansion in Madrid. She receives a $50 million one-time payout, $500,000 monthly just for child support, and a $2 million annual fund dedicated to luxury cars and private flights. And then there's the alimony. She is guaranteed $114,000 every single month for life. Doing the math, that is roughly $1.37 million a year, guaranteed in perpetuity. It literally doesn't matter if his income drops or if they never actually get married. This is written in stone. Section 3. The motherhood clause explained. So how on earth did this contract reach such massive numbers? It all comes down to some really dynamic legal mechanics. Legal analysts point to a specific provision, what is essentially a motherhood clause. This formally recognizes Georgina as the primary mother to all 5 of Ronaldo's children. And yes, that includes the 3 born via surrogacy before she even arrived in his life. Every new child triggered a massive contract expansion, irrevocably tying her standard of living to his immense wealth. Section 4. Protecting the athlete's wealth. Let's flip the perspective for a second and zoom out. Why does a billionaire athlete need this level of extreme, proactive financial armor in the first place? It comes down to one word: risk. In family court, a contested divorce is uncapped financial ruin. Look at history. Michael Jordan lost $168 million. Tiger Woods lost $100 million. Jeff Bezos lost $38 billion. By locking this in early, Ronaldo brilliantly capped his exposure. Sure, $1.37 million a year sounds huge to us, but for a guy worth $1.3 billion, it represents just 1/10% of his wealth. It is the ultimate insurance policy. And this brilliantly illustrates a really brutal reality in pro sports. A MarketWatch report actually showed a shocking 15.7% of NFL players go bankrupt within 12 years of retiring. Wealth hits fast, and without strict legal architecture like asset protection trusts or airtight separation agreements, it just vanishes. Ronaldo's setup is simply the absolute highest tier of this wealth management strategy. I think a FameFlix investigation really nailed it with this quote. This is not a love story. This is a masterclass in financial warfare disguised as a relationship. It sounds cold, for sure, but that is the reality of A-list operations. They literally cannot gamble a billion-dollar portfolio in court, so they structure their romance exactly like a corporate merger. Section 5. Georgina's multi-million-dollar empire. Now, it would be a massive mistake to just view Georgina purely as a beneficiary in this scenario. She is an absolute self-made powerhouse. Today, Georgina commands an estimated personal net worth of $10 million. That is wealth generated entirely independent of Ronaldo or a football pitch. Look at the hustle. She transformed from a retail sales assistant into an executive producer, starring in her very own global Netflix hit. She leveraged over 73 million Instagram followers to command around $354,000 for a single sponsored post. She's the brand ambassador for Guess and Alo Yoga, and she owns her own real estate and clothing brands. She brings immense corporate value to the table. Section 6. The business of marriage. Okay, so what can we actually extract from this billionaire case study for our own lives? So the crucial point is captured perfectly by family law attorney Brian Eccleston. He says, say what you mean up front. A little discomfort now saves a lot of chaos later. You don't need $1 billion to apply this principle. Anyone with assets or a business can use agreements to guarantee clarity. It completely removes the friction of money, letting both partners know exactly where they stand from day one. The ultra-wealthy are out here calculating their severance packages years before a breakup is even a remote possibility, totally stripping away the fairy tale to protect the empire. Which leaves us with a pretty provocative question. If the world's wealthiest treat their relationships with such precise, calculated financial pragmatism, are you doing enough to protect your own empire? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.